Now, just a back history, this patient's been suffering from severe earache and tinnitus in the left ear, which is the ear that we just examined. For the last 2 months, they've been to a high street audiology company, and they've struggled to remove this plug of wax. In fact, after the first appointment, they asked the patient to use the drops for a month, and the patient just returned last week, and they weren't able to get it. They said they weren't able to visualise the wax, it's too deep, they didn't get a clear view with their visualisation method. The patient was very distressed, she was wondering whether obviously she found me on YouTube, however, she was unsure because of the level of difficulty she experienced elsewhere that whether I'll be able to move it, and she was just blown away because I've removed it in a matter of, well, I think less than a minute actually, the block of hard wax. It's pretty straightforward. Now, I say it's pretty straightforward. The patient did have a bendy, narrow ear canal. You can see just how bendy and narrow it is. The wax was lodged in the eardrum, but I wouldn't say it's one of my most complex procedures. Patient broke down in tears, she was over the moon. Tinnitus had resolved, hearing back to normal. Patient did acknowledge that it was self-inflicted. They used a cotton bud and they really shoved it in. They did well to get the cotton bud in the ear, if I'm honest, because the entrance is quite narrow, the ear canal is quite narrow, it's also bendy. Just some procedural wet wax, just removing that. Now, you can see there's wet wax around the edge. We're just going to mop up very quickly. We don't need to do anything more. There's the patient's eardrum, nice and healthy. In fact, there's more wax in the patient's right ear. That was clear as well. We could see the right eardrum, but we leave all that staining. That's not going to cause a problem. So just at the entrance, because it's cartilaginous, it's not going to be uncomfortable for the patient. It's just gently mopping up here. And yeah, the patient was over the moon. She's very grateful. She gave permission for us to upload this on YouTube, so I thought I would. Because it's not a long procedure, I thought I'll try and edit it in between my next clients. You can see just a bit of wet wax around the edge near the entrance. Now, advise the patient to avoid cotton buds, do not get water in the ears. I advise that to all my clients. It's just some general ear care advice. You can see it's quite syrupy, sticky wax near the entrance. Now, this wax is actually healthy wax. A bit of wax is good for you. Inhibits bacterial growth, repels insects. Because the wax is sticky, any foreign particles, pollen, dust enters the ear, sticks to the wax, and as the wax migrates naturally out of the ear, it expels any dust